out of the stands. And I would like to bring these people out of the stands, and I would like them to run one lap with you, because I want to condense their life, and I know if they could run one lap with you as they would run a lap with me, I know what they would say to us. So let's get started. And the three that I know that I want to talk about, if I have time to do four, but we'll see. But the three that I want to talk about, when they run the lap with us, each one of them, their statement will come out of their youth. So I purposely bring them out of the stands because I'm on a university campus today. What a wonderful university. Dr. Piper, you and your leadership team here have done an outstanding job. He said, welcome back to Oklahoma Wesleyan University. I've been here for 15 years. It's not like coming back to Oklahoma Wesleyan University. This is all so fresh and so new, and it's growing and it's vibrant. And it just reminds me one more time when I think of your leadership that it is true, everything rises and falls on leadership. And it's been exciting what's been happening to this campus. And you're a part of it. You're students, and you're seeing this happen to your campus. It's kind of fun. You're going to be able to tell your children, your grandchildren. I was at Wesleyan University, but it was just really taking off. Okay, so I'm going to bring three people out of the stands, and I want to bring these three out because they made their mark at a very young age. And they're going to run one lap with you, and they're going to talk to you, and they're going to talk to me, and they're going to give us the statement that they would want us to hear. So let's get going. I'm going to start. I'm going to start with Rebekah. Now, if Rebekah could come out of the stands, and she could come down to where you and I are, if Rebekah could run one lap with you and me, I know what she would say to you. What Rebekah would say to you and to me would be, give generously to others with no strings attached. What Rebekah would say to you, if she could run a lap with you and a lap with me, what she would say to you and to me is, just give generously to others. And when you do this, don't have any strings attached to it. Now, let's get the story where the sentence is condensed. You know the story. Abraham was a very wealthy man, and God had promised him to be a father of a great nation, and he had a son, Isaac. And as was done in those days, when Isaac got to the age where he needed to be married, Abraham wanted to pick the bride out for Isaac, so he got his most trusted servant, and he said, I want you to go back to where I grew up. I want you to go back to my homeland, and I want you to find a bride for Isaac. Now get the picture, because this trusted servant of Abraham has been sent on many missions, understands that this is the most important mission he's ever been sent on, because this is the son of Abraham, whoever's going to marry Isaac, his son, this is going to continue the line of a great nation. And so he knows that picking out this girl is going to be extremely important. So he starts the journey back to Abraham's homeland. And while he's journeying, the closer he gets, the more nervous he becomes, because he understands that this is a very important decision. And so he starts to talk to God, and he says something like this to God. He says, God, you're going to have to help me. I don't know who this should be, and there are going to be young ladies in the village, and you're going to have to help me. So he kind of puts out a test for God. He says, God, let's kind of do a deal so I'll know who the one is. And so he says, God, whoever the bride of Isaac is supposed to be, may she, when I get to the town, may she offer me water to drink. Now, to be honest with you, that's not a big request, and that's really not a nasty test, because hospitality, Mideastern hospitality was, because of the nomads in the desert, the whole process, the whole hospitality was that when any stranger came, the first thing you did, because of the dry temperature and weather, is you offered them something to drink. So that was really, when he said, let this young lady offer me something to drink, that really wasn't a big deal, because there's a whole bunch of ladies that would offer him something to drink. But then he decided to really kind of put a big test in it. He said, and Lord, may they not only offer me something to drink, but may they offer my camels water to drink also. Now, when he said, may they offer my camels water to drink also, he just elevated his prayer request. He went into what I call the Jabez prayer, okay? Big time. Big time. Because you see, a camel after a day's journey will drink 20 gallons of water. And he had 10 camels with him. So he's saying, God, I got to pick out a bride for Isaac. So make the girl that should be the bride, may she offer me a drink. May she say, hey, you want some water? And I'll say yes. And then without my prompting, may she look at my 10 camels, and may she say, and may she offer my camels to drink. Also now, if she's got 10 camels and they drink 20 gallons each, are you getting the picture? She's got to draw 200 gallons of water from the town well. Because when the stranger, this servant of Abraham, when he gets to the town, the young ladies are down there and they are drawing water out of the well. And so he gets there, and Rebekah comes up to him and sees him, and she says, may I offer you a drink of water? He said, yeah, that'd be nice. And then she looks at the camels and said, may I offer your camels a drink of water also? Now, get the picture. She has to go to the town well, and I don't know, but let's say she has a 5-gallon bucket. Well, what that means is she has to 40 times drop that bucket down in the well and fill it up with water, and then she has to go from the well to the watering trough and drop empty the 5 gallons there, and go back to the well, and 40 times she has to do this. And this is a stranger. She doesn't know who this guy is. She doesn't know that he's on a mission to find a bride for Isaac. She doesn't know that he represents one of the wealthiest families at that day. She doesn't know that in his bag he's got all kind of jewelry and an amazing amount of wonderful things, gift for her. She doesn't know any of these things are happening. And so when she says, I'll give your camels water to drink, the servant of Isaac, he just kind of pulls aside and he watches her. Now, if she's got to do this 40 times, go from the well to the water trough, and back to the well, to the water trough, and I don't know how long it's going to take, but it's got to take, let's say, because there are other people in the well too drawing water, but let's just say she could do it in 3 minutes. She could get a bucket, that 5-gallon bucket, go over there and empty it there, and back and forth. It's going to take her 2 hours for this stranger. She's generously giving to the stranger. She doesn't know who he is. She doesn't even know what he's on the mission for. For 2 hours, she's going to go back from the well to the water, to the well to the water, and the Bible says that the servant of Abraham said nothing. In other words, he sat on a bar stool. He got his bottle of water. This is the Maxwell version. And he watched her. And she went from the well to the water, and she just went back and forth. I mean, he just sat there and watched her. For 2 hours. Not one time did he say, hey, Becky. Way to go, girl. Way to Becky, let me explain something to you. You have no idea what's happening. I got this sack full of jewelry. I mean, you talk about, I've been in a jewelry store. I got this stuff. And you're fulfilling the prayer request. And Rebekah, I just want you to know, if you keep doing this, there is a huge return on this. Not one time. He didn't say one word of encouragement. Now, to be honest with you, that blows my mind. Wouldn't you at least say, good girl? Hey, if you knew what I knew, just keep doing this. She didn't know. You see, as she's running that lap to you, she's saying, just give generously to others with no strings attached. You see, in a culture that before it does anything anymore, in the culture that you and I live in, this culture that we live in, before we do anything, we basically ask, what's in it for me? If you want me to draw some water, that's good, but what do I get? I mean, what's the return? I mean, in this culture that, I don't do windows. Rebekah is getting this water for this stranger. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that Noah didn't look at boats and say, that's not my thing. And I'm glad that Jeremiah didn't say I don't do tears, and I'm glad that David didn't say I don't do giants. And I'm really glad that Moses didn't say I don't do deliveries. I'm glad I'm glad that John the Baptist did say, I don't do baptisms. I'm glad I'm really glad Peter didn't say, hey, I don't do Gentiles. I'm glad Paul didn't say, I don't do letters. I'm really glad Jesus didn't say, I don't do crosses. You see, in a culture that basically says, well, I don't think I do that. Rebekah is saying, I'm just going to give generously to you. And I think as we run this lap with Rebekah, we're going to see a young lady who basically is pouring her heart out to us and saying, value people. Period. Value people. You see, if you go through the Gospels, if you really go through the Gospels, the one thing you'll come out of the Gospels, if you follow the life of Christ, the one thing you'll come away with after you read those 4 books is that Jesus valued people. He always had a way of lifting people. The downcast, the hurting, the despised, the forgotten. Jesus really valued people. And as Rebekah is finishing her turn, and she's about to go back up to the stands with the other saints, she just one more time looks at you as a young person running one of your early laps of life. And she's just going to say to you one more time, just give generously. Don't keep score. Don't walk through life and basically say, well, I may do it, but what do I get out of it? Don't put yourself first. Just give generously. She goes to the stands.